Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In this video, what we're going to discuss is we're going to be talking about some of the Cleveland Browns new coaches that we've hired. We hired a new offensive coordinator, a new D-line coach, a new tight end coach, and a new running backs coach. I'm going to be kind of going through reviewing these reviewing these coaching hires and do I think they were good hires, bad hires, etc. Most important one is Ken Dorsey being the new offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns and possibility of Kevin Stefanski possibly giving a play calling. We're going to talk about all that. But like I said, we're going to kind of go one by one, just kind of talk about the coach. Do I think it's a good hire, bad hire, what I think they can bring to the table, and then so forth. So without further ado, we're going to get straight on into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first up, we got D-line coach Jaquise Kassier, I think is how you say the name. He's going to be our new D-line coach. He came in from the Houston Texans. Houston Texans obviously kicked their asses. Their D-line just made Joe Flacco's life a living hell in the playoff game. We'd seen some good production out of our D-line the past couple years with Myles Garrett. Some of those things that he's able to do, obviously Defensive Player of the Year caliber. When Jim Schwartz stepped in, we saw our D-line really take a big leap this past season. But then again, with what they did, that's basically like an average of what we expected of a D-line. They were getting pressure. They were getting sacked. It's just they were getting pressure at an elite rate, but the sacks, they were coming, but not at an elite rate like with the pressures. Jaquise Kassier, he was able to take guys like a rookie Will Anderson, some underrated guys like Grenard, Barnett, guys that had career years, sack leaders within the team. I think the Browns looked at that and they said, okay, if we could possibly bring back some of our guys, like we had Maurice Hurst have a big upcoming year this past season. He did great. He might be a free agent. Maybe we can bring him back. We'll see. We obviously already know we have Myles Garrett, Sheldon Richardson. He's going to be back. Maybe if we sign back Zadarius Smith in the offseason, I don't see it happening though because he's going to probably be asking for some money. I really think Jaquise Kassier can really step in and make our D-line wreak havoc on opposing offensive lines. And with the way Jim Schwartz, his philosophy for his defense is it starts with the front four. If the front four themselves, just four, can go get pressure, then you have 7 guys in the back end covering at most 5 guys going out for a pass. What is the team going to do? How are they going to pass the ball on you? And if that front four can also then plug holes, the front D tackles can plug holes, get pressure in the way of stopping the lanes, get the run game stopped, you can't lose. Just to give you a perspective of how good the Texans is, let's look at how many sacks they had just in the postseason alone. And you can see right there, 7 sacks. The Detroit Lions obviously are one more up because they had the conference championship game to possibly add a sack on there. But the Texans, their D-line wreaked havoc. Another big thing with the Houston Texans, look right here. Like I said, with plugging the lanes, D tackles, keeping the run game contained. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically top 5 if you ask me. When it comes to stopping the run, the Houston Texans. I get it, the Browns are right down here, but 105 yards versus about, 96 yards? That's a big difference if you ask me when it comes to being a team that can stop the run. So I'm going to say this, Jaquise Kassier, he's going to be huge for us. Next up, we have Deuce Staley. Now, Deuce Staley, for those of you who do not know, he has a Super Bowl ring. He's been really good with running backs all over his years. The question mark for me is, when you look at our running backs, the thing is that what we need in a running back room, we are sadly letting go Stump Mitchell. I wish him best. I hope he does great things. He finds another job somewhere else. I wish we would have kept Stump Mitchell, but then again, we do have to move on. Deuce Staley is our new running back coach. What do I hope he brings? Obviously, it's nothing to say, but Nick Chubb don't need a running back coach. He is his coach. He could do whatever the hell he wants. He's going to go out there and do work. I think what Deuce Staley is coming in to bring is he's there to make the other guys good, like the Jerome Fords. If we were to bring back Kareem Hunt, make him even better. Make some of these rookies, these second-year guys, these random free agency guys, those are the ones we need to play well. Nick Chubb, he's going to do his thing. We need the other guys to learn and get coached up by him. So once again with Deuce Staley, I'd say it's a good hire for Deuce Staley. If we didn't fire Stump Mitchell and he was just leaving willingly and Deuce Staley was a hire, I'd say, man, this is great news. But the fact that we had to fire Stump Mitchell, it's kind of a 50-50, like cool, but like it's sad to see him go. Next up, we have our tight end coach. It's actually Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator from Alabama. It's kind of weird to see a coach go from an offensive coordinator moving to position coach. Usually you expect them to go from offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, whatever it may be, coordinator-wise, to being a head coach. He elected to go be a tight end coach for the Cleveland Browns. I'm wondering why in the change, but then again, I kind of see it as maybe David Njoku blossoming in the tight end he's been the past couple of years. He can take this as a learning curve to where Tommy Rees can come in, him and David, get in that room, and they can work on some things and maybe make him into, going forward, be the next, like, what we see out of, like, a Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Sam Laporta, T.J. Hockenson, etc., etc. Because I really believe David Njoku can be that. He's big, he's physical, he's gotten really good at route running this past season. He can be a top 5 tight end very easily. Tommy Rees, what he can bring to the team and what he did at Alabama last year, he was very good with Alabama, liked to run the ball a lot. Jalen Milroe liked to throw the ball deep. I think with what they can do with the tight ends, Tommy Rees can really make the tight end room go far. And I believe they have the possibility with David Njoku. Like I said, he's already pretty much a stud. But Harrison Bryant, I think he's a free agent. If he were to come back on like a 1-year deal, something like that, maybe they can make him into another elite pass threat. And last up, we have Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator. Here's what I'll say about Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey, I realize he got fired from Buffalo. I realize that. The thing I'm questioning is he going to be able to come in Cleveland, and is he going to just make this offense exactly what they were with Buffalo those first like 8 or 9 games? From what we saw out of Buffalo in those 8 or 9 games, they struggled a lot. It seemed like people said Josh Allen wasn't himself. Ever since Brian Daboll left, he was like really just kind of trying to figure out the system still. There was a couple other people like position coaches or quarterback coaches and or other coordinators that I was hoping the Browns maybe would go after. I was hoping Kellen Moore could possibly be the coordinator, but he went on to be Philadelphia's offensive coordinator. So we get Ken Dorsey. What does he bring to the table? Obviously, from what we saw out of Josh Allen, he loves the quarterback run. Deshaun Watson can do quarterback runs. He doesn't really like to do it too much, but we'll see what happens. Deshaun Watson already said kind of his input on this is he said he likes it because they love to do spread offense. They like to spread everybody out. Deshaun likes to throw the ball. They're going to throw the ball a lot. The running game's going to be a little bit kind of on the lower side of what things we're going to do, which is kind of sad to say because I would like to kind of put it in a way of passing the ball is going to be like 75% of our offense and running the ball is going to be like 25% of our offense. About 2 or 3 years ago, it would have been completely flipped, but we're moving into a day and age where we're paying our quarterback so much money. You kind of have to make him be the star of the show. Nick Chubb will still be there, and I think we're still going to get Nick Chubb easily like 1,000 yards. Even if he doesn't get like 15 touches minimum a game, he's still going to get his 100 yards a game probably and still get the 1,000 yards in the season. I think Ken Dorsey has a lot on his plate, and he's got to realize you got a lot of talent. You got obviously Deshaun Watson, you got Nick Chubb, you got David Njoku, you got Amari Cooper. Some other receivers are coming up. David Bell, Cedric Tillman. What can they transform in the next few years? This is a great team, a great assets of pieces that you can work with. And I didn't even mention the offensive line. The offensive line is still great with Bill Callahan coaching it. I do think Ken Dorsey can make this offense good. Now, the big question is Kevin Stefanski going to give up play calling? People have said Ken Dorsey is coming in to be the offensive coordinator, obviously, but is Kevin Stefanski going to give up play calling? I think Kevin will give up play calling if he can see from Ken Dorsey here in the offseason, here as we go through March and April, get into training camp, OTAs, etc., mini camps. If he can see some strength from Ken Dorsey towards like, man, that dude can call play. Man, that was a great play call there. Oh man, he completely fooled that defense. Then he'll kind of get in that mindset of like, okay, Ken, here's the headset. You're up. Kevin Stefanski is a little bit of a control freak for those of you who don't know. He likes everything to be perfect, and if he's not the one calling the play, he's starting to wonder like, is that really the right call? I don't know if I like that. I'd rather just be in control. That's kind of the way he flows. In order for him to give it over to Ken Dorsey, he needs to be able to have a full understanding and trust with him to know that like whatever play call he's calling right there, I would have called the same play. And if anything goes wrong, Kevin might be like right there behind Ken to be like snatch that headset and be like, nope, I'm calling plays again. The one good thing with what Ken Dorsey brings to the table is he calls kind of similar things to what Kevin does. So I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about that. And I think it is going to be a good hire. I really do think this can be a good hire. The only problem going forward now is, to kind of wrap it up, we have now replaced so many things, so many coaches, the defensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator, so many position coaches, quarterbacks been replaced, different receivers have been replaced, defensive players have been replaced, so many additions, free agents, draft picks. Kevin Stefanski, it's on you now, bud. I think at this point, the next thing that could go is the head coach. Everything else has been switched up and changed and flipped and reversed and thrown up on top of the head. Kevin Stefanski, it's on you. Like I said, I'm going to wrap it up by saying this. It's on Kevin Stefanski. I like all the coaching hires. They're all good hires. It's a good thing for the D-line. They're going to play better, I think, now with this new coach. I like Deuce Staley at the running back. I like the OC. I like the tight end coach. I think they're all going to work in unison, and they're all going to flow well throughout the entire offense. All I got to say is, it's going to be a long, and I mean long, fucking 5 months, 5 or 6 months, until we can finally see this team on the field. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did go to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entire today's video, thank you very much, and you want to leave your opinion on the whole thing down in the comment section down below. Do you think Ken Dorsey was the right hire for the OC? Do you like some of the other people for the position coaches, like the D-line coach, tight end coach, running back coach? Do you like them as the position coaches? If you don't agree and you think they're bad hires, let me know in the comments. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so, and do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.